So it was a sad day, sometimes last week in Glasgow, and I was shocked because it was very, very close to home for me. It was very, very close. So a 15-year-old boy was stabbed to death in Glasgow. I think it was last week Wednesday. And reading the reports further on, they started talking about gangs, and I'm like, gangs in the west end of Glasgow. When I heard that, fear gripped my mind. And knowing that it was in the same school as my son, the same class as my son in the West End. The shocking thing is also this that we are neighbors. I've seen him a few times. Yes, he was stabbed to death, a 15-year-old boy. Hello everybody, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So like I said from that intro here, this is a very, very close to home incident, okay? And this area of Glasgow, I've always said it, like, when I encourage people to move to Scotland, I've always said, come, move to the west end of Glasgow, because I've lived in west end of Glasgow for almost 15 years. And I will say, hand on my chest, hand on my heart, that is the safest place in Glasgow so far. It's the safest place that I'm happy for my kids to go play without me feeling that something is going to happen. But with this news, I guess something has changed. Okay, so according to the Guardian, I was actually in Germany when I heard this news. Obviously, I received a text message from my children's school to say my son was not in school, and I was like, "What?" So I texted him to say, "Your school said you're not in school. What's going on?" And he said, "Oh, mom, it's just that one of our friends was stabbed to death." And I'm like, "Eh?" So as he was telling me that news, I received a notification also about the news. So I'm going to leave a post here. It's from the Guardian, and it says that Teklay, that's the boy's name, he is a refugee from Eritrea. He was pronounced dead at scene on Wednesday night after suspected stabbing. Yeah. So police in Glasgow have launched a murder inquiry after a 15-year-old Eritrean refugee was found dying after a suspected stabbing. Teklay was discovered seriously injured on Clarendon Street in the St. George's Cross area of the city late on Wednesday night and pronounced dead at the scene by emergency service. I know that area pretty well. I don't go there often, but I know that area. In fact, I was actually looking for accommodation towards that area, like I was looking for some big houses or something. So Police Scotland said that after a post-mortem, his death was being treated as murder, and they have set up a confidential website, which I'm going to leave the link in the description box. If you know anything, please feel free to go, for witnesses to report the case. The police urge people to come forward. In quote, our thoughts are with Amen's family and friends at this distressing time. We will continue to provide specialist support for them as our investigation continues. We are seeking on speaking to anyone who was in that area at the time and anyone who has a dash cam, private CCTV or bell footage around the time. So this happened on Wednesday, and like I said, this boy, we actually live in the same building. Yes, we live in the same building. I've seen him a few times. I've seen his mom once, but obviously, if I don't see people often, I don't really tend to form friendship with them. Hence why I said this hit closer to home. My son, they attended the same school, they are in the same class, and obviously, since that incident happened, they've taken all of his classmates. The school's kind of like providing support for them because, like my son said, we play football together, and I was like, that was my fear. And when I saw that news, my prayer was that I pray that the culprit be found. And thank God they've arrested two people. And guys, you'll be shocked. The two boys that have been arrested, their ages 14 and 15. Tell me why a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old are going about with a knife. So according to the news I found here, it's from the news I found it from Glasgow Live. It says that two male youths aged 14 and 15 have been arrested in connection with the death of 15-year-old Teklay in the Calcadon area. And I know Calcadon very well. It's not far from the Glasgow Buchanan bus station, or area of Glasgow on Wednesday night. So they were arrested the night this young boy was stabbed to death. I saw a picture of him. I'll put it here. Look at his afro, his smile. And there's a video of him at a workshop. So I know that community very well. Kingsway community. I know that community very well. I also lived in that area for like almost 8 years before I moved. And here's a video of him and the people who were working with him, telling how a good boy he is. Watch the video.
Name's Ahmed. I'm 15 years old and I live in Lincoln. I came Kingsway to play football. The first time I came to play football. And the community centre, we get pizza, and summer we do barbecues and get drinks. So
Number one.
yeah, that's deep.
You guys saw there. It was somebody's baby. It was a 15-year-old boy. And now imagine it will be in S4. He's just starting his life and he only came into the UK about less than 10 years ago. So, according to the police here, that two boys have been arrested in connection to his death. 14-year-old male youth and a 15-year-old male youth have been arrested in connection with the death, and inquiries are ongoing. Images from the scene show the area shut down by police on Thursday morning. Multiple barriers were erected on entrances. So, obviously, his family, his sister said no. Their dad is not eating. Their dad is not drinking. Like, no parent deserves such a loss. Is a 15-year-old boy, and his life has just been cut short like that. And knowing that this happened in the west end of Glasgow, as a parent, I'm scared, I'm terrified. Okay, and a lot of people have said a lot of things, especially when the article reports that it's involved that those boys who stabbed him were rival gangs. So I'm like, what? Gangs in west end of Glasgow? I've not heard that. I've not heard that since I've been living in this area. So now I'm not even terrified for my children. And so when this happened, I was like, you know what, guys, you see why I always want to know who you're moving with? You see why I want to know where you're going? You see why I want to know I don't want you out of the house after a certain time amount of after a certain time of the day. So it's got me even more like, you know what? Anywhere my children go is going. If it is possible for me, I will go with them. But then I can't do that with all of them all the time. So this is heartbreaking. And also, let's talk about this knife thing. You know what, knife crime happens, and like I said, in this area that I'm living at, I've not heard anything of this in a long time, in the longest time. So for it to have happened, it brings me to question the kind of what the police are actually doing. The police are out on the street on a Friday night packing drunk people, but then I think there should be more police on the streets. And also, now that these boys have been arrested, this is three lives that's been shattered. I don't care for the culprit of this incident. As a boy, his Amen's parents are more concerned about. I just pray God console them. Now, these 14 and 15-year-old that have been arrested, I hope they are going to be charged as adults, because if you're going to go about carrying a knife, you should be ready to do the time. You should be ready to face the consequences of your actions. What is a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old doing being in a gang? And I think that this this knife crime is happening all the time, not alone in the UK, but it's a major, major issue in London. And I'm sure you've seen previous videos I've done in regards to that. Lots of lives, especially young lives, have been taken via knife. And I think that why this is reoccurring, why this is happening all the time, is that when they get sentenced, let's say for example, they get sentenced to 10 years, they release them in 5 years. Like, how the freaking hell can you sentence somebody to 10, 14 years for killing somebody, and in 10 years or in 5 years you're releasing them? Let the jail time be the jail time they serve. But no, if they have been jailed for 10, 15 years and you're releasing them in 5 years, tell me why such person will not come out and commit same crime again. I think something has to be changed. Something needs to change to put all of the people who commit all of these atrocities into book. Let them be responsible for their actions and let them serve their time. Because at the end of the day, even sentencing them to 15, 14 years lifetime, it's not going to bring them back. It's not going to bring their victims back. The boy, this 14-year-old and 15-year-old now, they might not try them as an adult. They might try them, and I won't be surprised if they don't even release their names. These are the type that they'll probably maybe jail them for 6 years. They release them from prison. They give them a new identity. We've seen that happen before. And I won't be surprised if the way this goes down. So I think the the sentencing they sentence them should remain what they are being given. If you sentence them to life imprisonment, why are you releasing them after 15 years? Because for the fact that they went out there carrying a knife, they did not think that their victim deserved to live. If you can do the crime, you should do the time, and there's no point giving them half time. So A a kind of gathering is going to be held today. Today is the 9th. It's going to be held today. By the time you watch this video, it will have been the day after, and it's going to be held at the Victoria Garden. It's not far off from here. It's friends. People have been asked to come there. For me, I don't think I want to go because I won't be able to contain my emotion. I just want to wish his family, I pray that God pacify them, and I pray that the young Amen continue to rest in perfect peace. He did not deserve this. I don't know what his crime was. I don't know what his involvement is with those people who committed that crime against him, but it was just a baby. He was only 15 years old. And knowing that a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old have been arrested and charged and they'll be attending court on Monday. Anyway, guys, as parents, we should not stop talking to our children. As parents, we should not stop guiding our kids, letting them know why they have to stay in close contact with their own siblings or know the kind of friends to move with. And like I said, we cannot or they cannot always know who is a bad friend or who is not a bad friend. It's only God that can actually help us. Hence why when I did that video of the parents who send their children to Ghana to go school there, and also maybe the government should allow parents parent their children. Yes, I shared the story of how my son, how my son went to report me to social services, and they tried to take my son off me. Maybe if they allow us parent our children. Anyway, guys, I don't want to elongate this video as long as it is. My condolences to the family of Amen, and I pray God continue to pacify their loss. I pray God continue to pacify them, be with them, and heal their wound. This is the end of my video. If you've watched till now, if you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video for just to help our young ones out there. And also do not hesitate to join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in my next video. All right, bye for now. Bye.